What's up everybody, Derek here, and today I am down at the river and I just was out fishing and I had this thought come into my mind. Why do I fish with what rod lengths that I do for my ultralight fishing stuff? I like going for panfish, I like going for bass. So with my ultralight techniques and the line sizes that I use, I kind of try to stay in an average space. So bass fishing, you can get in real heavy equipment, you can get into some big stuff, but I still want to be able to horse some of these Texas bass out of cover and other stuff. So maybe it's a 5-6 pounder that I end up catching on some light gear like this. I got 6 pound, I believe, on here, so I got to really set the drag on this one. But that helps me to catch more panfish. Now, if I want to get into an area like this river, I should actually probably have about 8 to 10 pound on here, but still be able to catch some of those panfish. But really, the ultralight is cool because you just never know what species you're going to catch. Could be a catfish, could be a bass, could be panfish. So many different fish that you can catch on something when you're fishing in the backwoods of the creeks, the rivers, you know, even the lakes where you're dock fishing. You just don't know what you're going to catch. And this one right here is a 6'6", and I already said the line size, but this one is perfect. It's a Walmart rod. It's just a combo rod that I picked up and I love to fish with, but it gives me the great action on the end. Now, there are certain rod lengths that you might want to go with that, you know, might help you and get longer casts, just similar to a fly rod being a lot longer and throwing out those super light flies. A longer ultralight pole can help you in some of those situations. But if you're like me and you like to get back in to some of that brush that's like back over there and you're casting down the bank and you're in tight quarters with trees, and then right now I got a bridge above me. If I had a 7'6" rod, I'd be scraping the top of this bridge every time I cast out there behind me. And if I'm in the trees or near any trees, I'd be hanging up every cast. So a 5'6" to 6'6" is about the area I want to stay in. And I want that light action, almost like a crappie or panfish. A crappie rod is probably more likely if you know what the action is. I mean, it's like an ugly stick that just bends over big time, but this one's got a little bit more backbone than this one. But I don't know. That's the kind of size that I like to stick with, is that 5'6" to 6'6" range. And it seems to work me well because I have a lot of fishing trips and I catch a lot of panfish, and then I'll get into pockets of bass and catch some good sized bass on the spinning stuff too. I just usually have to set the drag if it's a big one. So some things to think about when you're out there fishing, and maybe that'll help you guys. Maybe you're bass fishing up and down the banks and you start getting into some panfish. Yeah, well, you get over to a lighter lure, it's going to be harder to cast. You're going to have too stiff of a backbone with some of those rods. And if they're longer, it's going to be harder unless you're a fly fisherman. Fly fishermen are always looking for those big spaces, the big spaces, so they can get into those casts because they've got that big back cast to get back into it. So that's why you see a lot of fly fishermen, when they're not on the creeks or on the rivers out in the middle waiting around, they're out on lakes, on boats and other stuff. It happens all the time. But anyways, guys, I hope that helped. But thanks for watching, you guys, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.